Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Shattered Glass 2, issue number 3. Following the fall of Gold City, Ratchet has been tirelessly rebuilding his clinic in a secure location. As Slicer hands him some fresh parts to tinker with, the irritable medic brings him up to speed on his hasty relocation. Meanwhile, the Wrecker Commando gears up for his next mission, convinced by Ultra Magnus's leadership that they're on the brink of a decisive victory. But the ever-gloomy Ratchet, skeptical as always, grunts that it's all the same to him, and cynically predicts that Slicer will likely lose an arm on this outing. Win or lose, Ratchet grumbles, he's the one stuck, quite literally, picking up the pieces. As Slicer transforms and races into the desolate static zone, he uses the advanced communications array embedded in Blaster's severed head to cut through the region's communications jamming radiation. Despite Soundwave's attempts at morale-boosting broadcasts, the pragmatic and pessimistic Slicer has no patience for them. Upon arriving at Metroplex's resting site, Slicer spots Jetfire scouting from above. Worse yet, the disturbed ground around the base of the buried Titan indicates movement. Slicer navigates the Titan's inner workings in search of Goldbug, using Blaster's head like a compass through empty corridors and deserted infrastructure, planting hidden explosives all along the way. Finally, he pinpoints the source of the radio interference. Goldbug has implanted Starscream's disembodied, indestructible spark into Metroplex's systems. When confronted by his old boss for going AWOL, Slicer lies, claiming he went underground after the fall of Gold City and has only just resurfaced. The two work to get Metroplex moving, while Slicer discreetly tries to extract any useful information from the uncooperative Goldbug. Eventually, Slicer slips away to call in backup from the Wreckers, but just as he finishes, the ground trembles beneath him. Jetfire is making his move, and Metroplex is responding. However, when Jetfire weighs his odds and retreats, the Titan goes dormant again. Slicer tries to pry more information from Goldbug about Metroplex's erratic behavior, but the stubborn ex-tyrant won't cooperate. When Blaster's head picks up a garbled transmission from Soundwave about Decepticon activity on the front lines, Slicer gets an idea. Elsewhere in the Wasteland, the Airstrike Patrol's recon mission takes a sudden turn when a shot from the ground obliterates Tailwind. Visper leads the remaining Decepticons in a retaliatory strike against Slicer and Goldbug, but the two Autobots quickly dispatch their attackers. Having provoked Goldbug into action, Slicer feels confident he can eliminate his former boss next, until Goldbug screams that he knows who Slicer is really working for. He tackles Slicer and aims a gun at his head, but before Goldbug can pull the trigger, Jetfire arrives unexpectedly, finally avenging Starscream by crushing Goldbug's head beneath his foot. The two traitors stand side by side for a moment, until Jetfire turns his gun on Slicer, forced to deploy his last-ditch trap. Slicer triggers the explosives rigged in his arm, severing the limb and stunning the ex-Autobot. Jetfire, however, remains unfazed. Just as he prepares to finish Slicer, the other Wreckers arrive, lashing the Autobot flyer to the ground with strong cables. Slicer yells that Ultra Magnus needs Jetfire alive to wake Metroplex. But they're not the only ones interested in the Titan. Flame War and her Decepticon crew are on the way. Well, I thought this issue did a great job of bringing us back to the story revolving around Metroplex, and in a way validates the actions that take place in issue number 2, since Slicer has made good use of Blaster's head as a radio communication system. And when I take a look back and think about what I enjoyed the most in the first 5 issues of Shattered Glass, it's the relationship between Jetfire and Starscream and their entire story that kept me really captivated. And when we ended that series, Jetfire clearly had unfinished business with Goldbug, and we got to see that come to its conclusion here in this issue, with Jetfire finally defeating Goldbug. Over the last couple issues, I was a little disappointed that we weren't seeing more of Metroplex. I actually thought that he would have a more prominent role in Shattered Glass 2, so it's nice to see the story start to revolve around him and his awakening, which in itself is starting to tie into that relationship between Jetfire and Starscream. But let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this issue. Don't forget to like this video and sub to the channel for more. And stay tuned for my breakdown and review of Transformers Shattered Glass 2, issue number 4. I'll see you guys next time.